All right, here we go. This is law of cosines, the notes. Notes for law of cosines. Law of cosines. Now we just finished law of sines, and what's the difference with law of cosines? Let's look at the formulas here. So again, we're working with triangles, and the angles are the capital letters. And by now you know that the corresponding sides are the lowercase letters, right? Here's angle A, so this is little side A. Angle B, little side B. Angle C, little side C. Okay, so again, you're going to use the law of cosines to find missing parts or angles or sides for triangles, right? That are not necessarily right triangles. Here's the formula though. Let's get used to these formulas. One of them is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc and then cosine A. All right. This is if you're, right, this one's solved for A, so this is if you're trying to solve for side A. And honestly, the setup is going to be the same for the other sides. It's just obviously the letters are going to be different. Eventually, you'll see a pattern here. You'll get used to this. The letter that you're trying to find, the side that you're trying to find is over here squared by itself. And then you add the two other sides, subtract 2 times those same two sides, and then cosine of the angle of that side, right? That corresponds, cosine A, right? We're trying to find side A, so cosine A. So what would this look like for side B? Well, that would be b squared is equal to what? What are the other two sides? A squared plus c squared. Is that right? Yeah. Minus what? 2 times these same two letters here, the other two sides, 2 times AC. And then times what? Cosine of what? Angle what? B. So it's really the same formula. It's just depends on the sides the side you're looking for, and then just kind of being familiar with the formulas. And then if you're looking for side C, that would be c squared is equal to what? The other two sides, a squared plus b squared minus what? 2 times what? These two letters, AB, cosine what? Of this angle of the side you're looking for, right? And you got to get this, you got to know this side is squared, add it to this side squared minus, and then this is all a multiplication here. The cosine of the angle times 2 times A times B, all this is multiplied here. Okay, so this is the formulas. This is to find missing sides. Okay, the missing sides. When are you going to use? When do we use law of cosines, and how do you know when you use law of sines and law of cosines? This is when you use it. Now you're going to have, again, the problems will look the same. You'll have like a triangle, right? And now you'll have an angle, right, like 37 degrees. And then they'll give you a side here like 9 and then like 12. This is how you know when you have to use law of cosines. Because remember, law of sines is easier. And when do you know that you use law of sines? When you have the angle, you got to have one angle and the corresponding side. See, I don't have that. You're gonna have an angle, but you're not gonna have its corresponding side. We do have problems with law of sines where That's how you know it's law of sines. You have at least one angle and the corresponding side. That's how you know you're using law of cosines. You don't have it. I can't use law of sines here. So that's what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it to find the missing side. Okay. All right. So you will only have one angle, right? They're not going to give you two angles. If you have two angles, you have three angles, you use law of sines. Another issue that's going to come up with this is, one other thing I want to mention on this video, right, real quick is, let me go over here. They're not going to give you triangles with A, B, and C. They're not going to give you triangles with A, B, and C. They're going to give you triangles with other letters, right? They're going to use like W, X, Y, right? They're not going to use A, B, and C. So what I recommend, I mean, just to make it easier and just so that you're just always looking at these formulas and you kind of don't start changing it and have different equations. What I'd rather you do is when you see a problem, and let's say they're asking you to find WY, right? They're going to ask you to find side WY, which is this one, right? What I would do if I were you is actually just change the letters. Just change the letters to what? A, B, and C. Change the letters to A, B, and C. And WY would actually be what? This side WY is this one here, right? So you're actually looking for side what? For side C. Right, I didn't put the other angle measures and I didn't put the other angle, right? And I didn't put the two sides that they're going to give you. But my point is, once you know that I'm looking for side C and I have A, B, C, then I know which of these formulas to use, right? You got to know which one to use. And then I don't have to be changing these all the time. Which am I going to use for side C? Well, this one. This one here, the one that's solved for C, right? So then this one would be, let's see if we remember how this pattern goes. It would be what? The formula for this would be C squared is equal to what? The sum of the other two, the sum of the squares of the other two sides, right? A squared plus B squared. And then what? Minus 2 times what? The product of AB. And then times cosine of what? Angle C. All right. So that ends video 1 here. In the second video, we're going to start solving the problems. But just so that you are familiar with the formulas here, and then again, when do you use law of cosines? You'll have an angle, but you don't have its corresponding side. And then lastly, make sure you change the letters. Whatever letters they're telling you, change it to A, B, and C, and then you know which formula to use. Okay. Let's go to the next video so you guys can see, let's do some problems. Okay, next video.